Wow. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Divinely Designed 21st Century Women. I got it. Tonight is Monday. Don't test me, the 18th of November. And my name is Lindsay, and I'm here with four of my amazing friends, Sochi, Geneva, Tasha, and Michelle. Tonight, who we're missing from the panel is Crystal and Leslie. And so we want to thank you all for joining us tonight because we are looking forward to opening up a wonderful dialogue. What we're going to do, however, is we're going to, should I do announcements first? I realized I did not do them last week. Nah, we'll catch them. I'll do them in the middle or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Sochi open this up in prayer, and then I'll do the little monologue thing that I do sometimes. And hi, Miss Delia. Nice to see you. Go ahead, Sochi.
Thank you. Father, we thank you for bringing us together this evening to be able to share, to be able to laugh, to be in joy. Father, we thank you that you've allowed for all of us to be here, that we get to meet and to know each other better. We thank you that the conversations you bring up and the topics that you bring up, Father, that we all get to learn from them, that we all get to share and we get to learn different perspectives from each other. Father, we praise you. We give you all the glory and the honor that we get to be here tonight. Amen.
Amen. You know what's fun is the fact that, excuse me, we are, as of tonight, 6 weeks, we have 6 more broadcasts to do after tonight's. This is done. And one of the things is that we have been talking and we scheduled, of course, that we're going to do 2 pre-records. Next week's broadcast will be pre-done, pre-recorded. We're going to do it this Saturday, and that's for Thanksgiving week because I'll just say Geneva will not be found. She is the primary chef of her family for Thanksgiving. And so the girl, did you say 70 pounds of sweet potatoes or 30 pounds? 30 pounds of sweet potatoes from Mississippi. Right.
30.
30, of which I want her to bring 2 to Florida in December for me. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do that one pre-recorded. And then also our December 23rd broadcast, which is for Christmas week, is also going to be pre-recorded. And then we will be coming back to you live on December 30th, which will be our very final broadcast. So we don't often do pre-records, but we wanted to let you all know. And also, if you happen to know people that watch us on Kingdom First TV on Facebook, we are having issues with that app for some reason. And so we're not really broadcasting on it. What we end up having to do is share it later or something to that effect. So just share that with a friend, or I guess maybe we can post it even on our site or something like that. So we apologize for the difficulties in that, but that is what is happening. And so since I'm mentioning that anyway, let me go ahead and do some of our other announcements that we typically do at the end of the program. And one is that you are welcome to go to love-unity.org. Love and Unity, the Love and Unity movement, is the sponsor of Kingdom First TV. And that's where actually some of us met, or through the ministries that take place there. And we have within the Loving Unity movement, there is something that is called the Convergences, which the latest one, or the next one coming up, is taking place December 5th through the 7th. So it's just a couple of weeks away. And that's taking place in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. So if you have an opportunity and you're in that area and you want to find out more about the Love and Unity movement, then go to the website love-unity.org and check it out. Register. It's free registration. And if you live in that area, then you might not need to be troubled with the hotel, but they have all of that information there. And you'll get to meet some of the other Kingdom First TV broadcasters. I also want to say, if you are interested in broadcasting on Kingdom First TV, there's a place on the website where you can click the link and you can ask for more information, and you can find out how you too can become a broadcaster on that network, which goes into a lot of different countries. And we really don't know exactly all the places where we are, but we do know that we can be seen and heard in the Philippines, in Canada, in other parts of Europe, and I don't know wherever. So if you're watching us from another country, please feel free to just jot that in and let us know where you're watching us from. And we're going to learn how to say greetings in different languages, but we do want to also say thank you for being a part of this. And I believe that's really pretty much it for the announcements and things of that sort. But what I do want to say also is that last week we picked up, or we left off our cliffhanger on a statement that I had made, and there were different interpretations of what it was. And it was something that really was, Sochi opened up in terms of the different ways people think or perceive, which I thought was fabulous. And we remembered it, but we're not necessarily going back there. But we wanted to tell you, we did not forget. For the first time in a long time, we remembered what we were going to talk about that we're not going to talk about. So it doesn't really help, but we did remember. Give us credit. We remembered. Okay. And also, we want to welcome Tasha back. She's been working a lot. And so, yay, you. Welcome back, friend. And it's good to see you. So having said all of that, what are we going to talk about tonight? I think we're still, one thing we're making sure that we do is that we have stated what our objective is, what type of things we're going to claim as victories or celebrations that we will be able to share with you on the New Year's Adam night, because it's December 30th. So it'll be the day before New Year's Eve. It's cute, isn't it? The date, 2 days before is the Adam, and then the night before is the Eve. I think that's kind of sweet. So anyhow, that's what we will be doing. And also we're looking for progress reports and announcements of things that are ongoing. So I was hoping to be able to show you the book cover of a book that's going to be released by me within the next 10 days. And the cover's not quite ready, so I may debut it on my program tomorrow, and then I'll put it on Facebook. But if I can find a prototype of it or something, I'm going to show that to you all, because it's really very exciting. The book is called Christmas Through the Ages, and I'll talk about that a little later when we come to the round table. So we have books to be published. We have new products and breakthroughs. And Geneva, I'm going to tag you, because I talked to you last week and you were talking about when you all were in your Boundless Brain challenge, and how you said that something happened that gave you a clarity and a breakthrough and things of that sort. So you don't have to, but yes, you should, because it lit up the room when you and I were having that dialogue. So I'm tagging you intentionally, and then we will just carry on from there. Celebrate. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I still feel the need to be cautious about what I say at this point. But some of the things that we discussed and some of the things that Dr. Baker addressed for me personally, having to do with the thing that my honey, okay. The honey business is exciting to me and fun. And I love the idea of creating this honey. Okay. But the thing that I am passionate about is the thing that we talked about last Friday in our boot club, our boot camp. And that is, for me, essential oils. And the the things that people are not aware that they can do with essential oils that will eliminate the need for chemicals and those kinds of things. I'll just put it that way for right now. And so some of the things that Dr. Baker addressed, and then also some of the things that she told me that I should have known already, but sometimes you have to hear someone else say it in a different way, and it has ignited a passion in me that I am just it's all I want to do. I want to research and look into different things right now and get started on this journey of helping someone. So I am very excited about what the future holds right now and the potential for a wellness journey for people who are interested, a way for people to take advantage of the things that God created. And they were created to do specific things for us. And it just became easier for chemicals and man-made things to be replaced because especially those outside the kingdom of God, they want to be God. And so they tried to take over and replace the things that he created that are designed to do what our bodies need. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited right now about all of this.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Um, and this is mainly to you because you just spoke that, but to you other ladies, especially the journey we've been on since last August. Even with what you mentioned about the transition of your focus from honey to essential oils, do you feel like is it a partial shift away from the honey? Even though, are you still in this um the part I'm saying, asking all of you, from what we discussed and where we were launching from and what the desires were from that meeting in August, do you all feel like a shift in essence? You're speaking of it, but I kind of feel that I'm still in the realm of what I've been pursuing, but I feel different. I feel a difference even in what I'm doing to still stay in that area. But um, one of the things I've been praying a lot about is, okay, Lord, I feel more of a focus towards this area dealing with that than I did with, the whole circumference, if you will. Do you feel that about like the hot honey? Like, it's not that it's not important, but it's like, okay, whereas that may have been your first focus, and what you were putting all your focus into, now it's like, okay, let me set that aside a little bit for now and this is my passion. This is where I'm, I feel the pull and the tug to pursue. Do you feel like, I don't want to say the hot honey is put on the back burner, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like you're just putting that on the side, but your focus has shifted totally because you feel the zeal here.
Yes. Okay. So the hot honey is absolutely a business, and it's something that I intend to continue to pursue. And interestingly, is how I'll put it, that it is something that is a small part of the bigger thing with the essential oils and the natural homeopathic lifestyle, because we all know the dangers of refined sugar. And honey is one of the best replacements for sugar, because it is natural. It is, naturally occurring, so to speak. Whereas bleached and refined sugar is bad for you in so many ways. So I won't say it's going on a back burner because it is still potentially, and I'm not a big business person, so I'm probably my language is not going to be right now, but it is still a way for me to um, finance some of these other things that I would like to see happen in regards to the essential oils and that kind of stuff. So um, it's it is more secondary though. It's a piece of a larger thing. It's just the thing that was able to motivate me in a forward motion to begin with until and I still don't, God's still showing me stuff, and this has definitely got to be opened up, and it um clarity about certain things to come. But overall, it to me it just speaks to the wonderful nature of God and how He knows each of us so intimately, and does the things for each of us to get us in a forward motion, um, and yet still taking us to sometimes a different place than what we imagined to begin with. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. And yet that last sentence not only answered it, but it kind of, was a word of wisdom even for me. Thank you.
Michelle, I got a question for you though, because that was an excellent, and I think we probably all will try to answer it, just for that. But what about you? You mentioned that there was a shift for you, so talk about it.
As far as speaking about the business, my heart has turned towards more so learning to help those in the area of nonprofit, and like as far as not solely churches, but as far as helping them get their books together, how to flow. Like it's like I've been um seeing more so the need uh for that, because I notice, and this is not everyone in the church, but a lot of some churches, it's because some may not be um grant focused 501c3 or whatever number, they may not have their mindset or focus in that. So it's just okay, weekly we come together, we get an offering, we get the offering and tithes, and we, pay the bills, and we do this, and they do it and run it more so like their households. And so there's no mindset or focus towards okay, God, how do we really build the kingdom? And how do we handle even finance correctly? Uh, Having, a mindset of what I need to do and where this needs to go. And even in the area of individuals saving, building up, and having those things within ministry and teaching people. So my heart most recently is more so for those who do not, who are, I don't want to just say in the church, but you understand, like, again, that entire spectrum is nonprofit. So my mindset is okay, trying to help them, um, because I'm learning that area myself as far as how to teach that, but wanting to show, okay, this is what you need to do. And you have to be mindful of even, personal taxes and things of that nature, but those within the house of God. So that's where my focus has shifted now. And it's more so towards those who may be in ministries and churches and nonprofits, in order to learn, as I stated, I'm still learning. But whereas, like what I've learned with bookkeeping, it is so huge and wide, and dealing with accounting. And so it's a totally different ball game, profit and nonprofit, totally different. And I'm learning, like, it's so much. But my heart most recently has turned towards that being my focus, rather than just learning the entire ball game, and more so those who are in businesses for profit, but specifically because my heart is to help those who do not know within. That's one of the areas, sadly, when it comes to us, within the church, that, we're not taught. And so that's where my focus has shifted to.
Well, I'm not going to interview everybody. I guess I kind of am. How about you, Tasha? And then Sochi, just take over from there. Okay.
Yeah, no, I love this, because what comes to my mind is that we're becoming who we are. We're still on the path of discovery. So it's what's in us. And I know for me, I'm still discovering what's inside of me and what God wants me to do, how he wants me to express who he is through helping people get healthy. So like you, Michelle, and Geneva, it's like, what are our conversations as we're functioning surround what's coming to us? And for me, I just see it as expansion in services. So a lot of people want to talk about nutrition in my area of of massage and wellness. So their diets, what they're eating, how it affects their bodies. A lot of people, their focus is on losing weight, and so I know for me, my next, I believe in 2025 will be a discovery for me. And as I go through, I'll be able to teach others. So on nutrition. And so I know I'm asking, mine is also, Geneva is on the natural side, homeopathic side of what God's given us in this earth, the herbs in the earth, the food. You figure, what, if we didn't have grocery stores, how would you eat? So it's along that line and going down that journey. If you can't shop at a grocery store, where would you shop? Do you know where your local, farms are that are growing their own vegetables and their own beef, their own pork, or their own, whatever it is? Do you have a map on how to get there? What are the benefits of eating that kind of stuff? So so it's more on the naturopathic side of things. So yeah, it is expanding. I'm like, really? Is that where I'm going? Yes, that's where you're going. So it has my focus. It's not there yet, but I sense that that's the direction that I'll be going. And so it still is like, okay, there's always more to learn. It takes risk. It takes me doing the footwork and just taking the step, right? And it's like doing this whole thing from August all over again. It doesn't end. This never ends. This is constant growth. And so that's what I'm finding. It's like, oh, is that that part of your stomach? You're like, oh, like I got to make a move. I got to make a decision. I have to decide. I can't look back. Just go, because we can make a decision and then the decision isn't the outcome that we thought it was going to be, so we got to learn how to quickly get up and keep going, learn from that decision and keep moving forward, because we have to continue to advance. And so, yeah, it's definitely expanding and I'm excited.
All right. Well, I like to start with talking about Geneva's products, her essential oils, especially because she's not asking me to. So I've actually had the privilege of trying some of her essential oils and just absolutely love them, to the point that one of my testimonies for her is I was on the airplane in severe bent over pain. And I had one of her essential oils and I went to the bathroom, put it all over me, and I enjoyed that rest of the ride. The flight, it was the flight to Hawaii. And so it's a long flight. And yeah, it's like I can attest to to the wealth that she provides in those little bottles. And so I'm very, very excited to hear. When I heard, you asking or bringing that up again, I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. And yes, I love the honey, very delicious, but those essential oils are so, so necessary for us because, I was tired of Advil and can only take so many in a day. And the oil was just so quick and so natural and so handy, and just absolutely love it. So I'm very, very excited. I'd love to talk about everybody's, because I have thoughts, right? So Pastor Michelle, when you're talking about that, I was like, oh, oh, part of me cringed. But we got to follow what God puts in our heart. And he provides more than enough. So if it's to one direction, perhaps the funding will come from the profit to fund the nonprofit. So I look forward to seeing how that evolves and what happens. And I've had the experience of being in both worlds, and I didn't like the nonprofit world. I did not like it. My experience was not a whole lot of fun with it. It was a learning experience. So I try to far more carefully with it now, having lived what I lived through with that. So hopefully that that sheds a little bit more. But I'm very excited that you're following it and that you're moving forward with it. Now, as for me, to answer your question, I don't even know where my focus really is. But I feel this fire under my butt that I have got to finish so many things that I have not finished. And that's what it is. And it's a lot of closing doors. It's a lot of finishing projects. It's a lot of completing on things that I said I was going to do, but then got excited with something else and didn't finish. So so it's like, where is my focus? It's on completion. It's on completion of all these little miscellaneous things, not little and minimizing the projects, but just things that I have to close the door. I have to be done with these things and not just leave them unfinished. And I think that's been one of my growth spurs, is to finish off things completely. Now, I like to start. I love to start, but then it's like I get bored and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I already figured it out. I don't want to do this anymore. And I can't. It's like it's not a toy. It's like these are businesses or projects, and they're there for other people. And so I have to have a lot of finishing and a lot of crossing T's, dotting I's before even like really looking at anything new. And so that's where my focus is just getting these things done and closing them. Yesterday I found out one of my web pages has been down for 2 months. And the only reason I found out it had been down is because I'm in the process of organizing. I had all these web pages that I've bought for myself or for others, and I got a little out of control. And I'm like, this is madness. It's like there's no organization to this. I need to separate accounts and keep my numbers and my sub accounts in order. And so as I was breaking down all of my domain names, there's one of my key ones has been down for 2 months, or I guess a month, maybe about a month. But nonetheless, I'm like, what is this? Like, I can't let things like this be happening. And so that was like, that was just another kick in my butt. I was just like, get it done. It's like, get these things done, because I've started too much and I need to finish. I need to finish and get some of these projects off and set them up so that others can take over them, because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy starting. I enjoy helping people start, and then it's like, okay, but full handoff, not just like, okay, I'm done with that toy. What's next? It's like, no. If these businesses are being started, someone's got to pick them up and continue, or I need to be more careful and not start things I'm not going to fully finish just because it's fun. Like, I got to stop with that and really focus on the purpose of why it is that I'm even getting into some of these things, and not spread myself so thin that I don't even know which way is up sometimes. And it's like, no, it's like, this is too much. So I'm being far more careful with what I'm saying yes to and whom I'm saying yes to with my time also. That right now it's like, I have to, got 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks to finish some of these things off. 6 weeks, I guess. 6 more weeks. I have 6 more weeks to finish off very strong, and I trust it will be. I trust it will be, because it definitely is so much. I feel so much lighter when I'm crossing my things off, and it's like, okay. Sometimes I got to add 5 more to get one thing done, but it's okay. I'm on it, and I'm excited about having the opportunity to complete them and to be obedient. That's really the bottom line. It's like, I just want to be obedient. I'm so tired of all this stuff. It's like, just be obedient, and life will be so much better.
I love that. That was so good. All of what all of you had to say, I think is amazing. I can connect with what you just said, Sochi, because I'm adding some stuff to my already like ridiculous schedule, but it's the things that streamline. And like you, it's crossing T's and dotting I's, finishing some little things that it's like, these need to be in place for the next phase to go. But I'm still very, very excited. 2025 has already begun for me, so that it's a seamless transition. And so some of my 2025 projects have already gone forward. Jenny and I talked earlier today, because we meet on Mondays to take care of business. And I told her, and she already knew this because she's like that sometimes. But I was like, I realized that 2025, I'm going to spend producing more books written by myself. And I don't have to start from scratch. They're books, as what to allude to what you just said, Sochi, things I started, I think when we were at your home a couple of weeks ago, and we were watching a broadcast of someone else that triggered some thoughts. And I was able to flow with the person, not because I'm a know-it-all, but because the phrases that were being used just started kind of ringing a bell for me. Why? Because in 2016, I wrote a book, or the beginnings of a book, where all of that stuff was right there. And Sochi and I and our friend, if she may be watching, or she'll watch the rerun, so we just say, hey, Tracy, Tracy, I just said, well, let me just read. I ended up reading part of it, and I'm sitting there going, my God, this is actually good. It wasn't just like it had potential. I mean, it was really good. And it's like, it's relevant for now. So I'm going to spend much of 2025 developing myself as an author, and developing more in the publishing aspect of my company, but also branching out. I'm learning technology now that is necessary, because I've been looking for a long time, trying to get people to do things for us that are, because they know how to do it. It wouldn't take them long, but it's not fitting. And so it's like, then I am going to have to learn it, so that then somebody will come along that's better, that can, take it to the other places. But at least I've got to do the rudiment. So I'm taking these different courses, and I'm actually participating in the courses. Like, okay, let me sit down and learn this one and that one. And I've got easily, you could call it my doctoral program, where it's all of the other aspects of what I did in the master's time, so that I can put this together and actually come up with something that's very viable. That's a fancy way of saying getting really into the nitty gritty of why I'm here on the earth. I feel like it's been a discovery. Yeah, I know what my function is. And these are all things that I can do regardless of marital status. It's what I do. And that's a very wonderful place in obedience, aligning with God, doing all of the different things that we have talked about for health and wellness. It's all factored into it. I've learned that when I talk about things from a finished place, that what is in that dialogue is all of the steps that are necessary. Every T crossed, every I dotted, every letter in place. It's all factored into the overall, what seems like a closing statement. Oh, that's a great ambition, but I don't need you to tell me what I've got to do. I factored it into that statement, or else I wouldn't make the statement. It's almost like a tabulation. God presents you with something. This is how I have experienced it. Other people would have a different way of expressing it. But he presents me with a finished work. And I say, okay, yes, which is essentially trading floor type of dialogue. Well, when you say yes to it, it's like when you put your hand to it, that within the transfer comes a tabulation, or you could say an algorithm that has and so all these little pictures are crossing through your mind, not my eye or my mind's eye. You're going to have to do this. This has to go. This needs to be. It's the entire plan, though you don't know the entire plan. I'm not telling you, it would be such a lie, and in a sense of disappointment, because I do like surprises from him. But you have counted the cost. It's been tabulated. And you've been told it's going to cost you in your life. It's going to cost you in these areas. So when you if you make this decision to press forward, there will be pain, there will be opposition, there will be troubles, there will be things that you have to get rid of, there will be things that you have to take on, there will be something new, and there will be discarding and accommodating and making peace with and repenting and throwing this away. I mean, it's everything. And I've said yes to this. Now, what it looks like when it shows up, I don't know. I expect that would be the moment when the Holy Spirit says, you've already, let's quote Super Chicken. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred. You signed on for it. So you've reached that place. We've reached the place in your life and in your journey where the tough thing that you knew that you didn't want to do, this is the time that you're going to have to do it. And you've already said yes to it. So let's just get with it. And that's what it feels like. So I could say that I've got 5 books that are in the Kingdom Foundation series, and each book has connected to it a video game. And then, it's like, can we do graphic novels with it? Can we turn it into something that's maybe animated or some form of not theatrical release per se, but definitely something that's video oriented or from the entertainment perspective, because I'm in the business of education. My original pursuit was a master's in education. I couldn't get into that program, but because the timing just never worked. But I know the master of education. And so I still get to do it, but my subject is the kingdom of God in the elementary level. And then getting to show all the cool stuff that is for us if we choose to be alive to God and dead to the things of this world. And so, of course, the challenge we all have experienced is, even though we don't like it, we're used to it. It's kind of like having an old person in your life that I don't actually even like them, but it's better than being alone. No, it ain't. So, it's really not. But that's what it's been like. And so the anticipation, I don't concern myself with how much it's going to cost, because God's funding it, or it shan't be done anyway. It's not coming out of what I could do independently. It's things that he's called to have done. And so therefore he's already financed it. Now I can say it, and that's so easy to say. The next step is learning what it means. And it's receiving from the people, the places, the things that he surrounds you with to say, okay, now this is how this is going to be done. I can see us all being connected to each other until we depart the planet. Even if we're not meeting on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis, but I sincerely doubt we will let an entire 12-month period go by. I anticipate it being more like quarterly or something. And since we kept mentioning last August, and for those of you who are wondering what is August, it was when we were in North Carolina last August, not this past one, but in 2023. And Sochi held basically a conference, a businesswoman's type of conference, where we were learning and we started to branch out and to explore. And so the round circle, the circling around that Michelle is asking about, is it different for us? Yes. And that's what she was alluding to. And I think it's different, but I think it's the same. It's just we didn't know this part yet. And if we had not expressed the passion that we had for the thing that got us started, we wouldn't be where we are. It's the same, to me, dynamics that work with why we have come together to do this broadcast. and we charge forward. Sometimes we flounder, we fall, we skin knees or get hurt or whatever it is, and then thankfully there's people around to help you to get back up. But if you help people helping you to get up is great, but if you don't want to get up, it doesn't help you. It's like, what's in us? And that's my next question. What is in you? And I can I say this? I will pose this as a question, but I don't expect the question to be answered tonight because it can't be. It's a discovery type of question that ultimately the end results of what we bring forward on December 30th are the answer to the question. What's in you that keeps you going? It is who is in you, but what is it about him that's in you that causes you to want to continue on? Did you finally get to the discovery? And again, it takes manifestation. Everybody can say yes to this as I ask it tonight. Please don't. I'm really asking you, please don't answer this right now because it's premature. But have you actually truly discovered the greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world? To the degree that you manifest it, and so that others come to eat from the table. That's the ultimate, I think, in terms of what we're searching for. And who wants to come with us? How bright is your light? That it shines so brightly, you don't have to tell. I am now turning on my light. Would anybody like to see? And am I leaving broadcasting? No. No, I'm going to learn about podcasting, podcasting. And I'm sure I'll be back to Kingdom First TV as well sometime next year, mayhap towards the end. I don't know. I don't have a calendar date for that yet, but it's a part of the, wow, I get to do this and I get to do this and I get to do this. I believe what I'm saying, and this would be the conversation point, Michelle, since you're ready to pounce in. I believe that this is the takeoff point where we finally appreciate the life that we have and start to infuse it with the joy of the Lord, which always seems to be missing from people. They fake it, and we can see it a mile away. And who wants to be? This is the other question that we're asking. Who needs me to agree with them for their breakthrough? Because I'm really good at that, you know? And those are the kinds of discoveries that to answer your question, Michelle, and I'm going to switch places with you. Okay. But those are the types of things, the discoveries and I would say the beautiful harmonies and melodies of life. I get to return to music. I get to return to writing myself and breaking through. I kept saying, break through the writer's block. But how about demolish that sucker and connect with that person, that love. It's the love of the thing and the passion for the thing that starts to light different kinds of fires. So that's my contribution for this portion.
Thank you for that. And I know we're late in the broadcast and we spoke earlier, but want to say hi again, Mama D, Mr. Losi, and Monique. Saying hello to you. And I know, according to the app, there are some of you, if you're still out there, it says that you're watching. Just give us a hello and we'll say hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. I love that and what you said. It's kind of like going exploring, if you will. And even with you not looking for an answer, I also don't think it can be answered because look at what happened August of 2023. And we're just now coming into some of that, not even in its fullness. So I believe that we are still exploring and like you said, and I love the way you put it, like we're just now coming to this part it was all, encompassed in what we were finding out back then. But now this is another piece of it. And so I find it so amazing, because it's the part where, wow, again, like even back then, it was like, I didn't know that was in me. So even those of you out there watching, uh, what is it that is in you that you have not even realized was there, that you can explore to do more, become more, than what is normally expected of you, or you even expected of yourself. And I think that's where we are now, realizing, not just going with the status quo, and not just going with what was expected of me or what I expected of myself, because this is the normal thing. Okay, get up, go to work, or do, whatever it is we do, work, schooling, whatever, and just do the quote unquote run of the mill day. But what else is there? What else is there that, I can learn, that it's been sitting there the entire time. I just never, like they say, the untapped potential, like it's been there the entire time. So I encourage those of you, regardless of who's out there, if you're watching now, or the if you watch it when it's rebroadcasted, or you play it, pull it up on YouTube or Facebook, that you would contemplate, okay, what is it that I'm just sitting on? Those jewels that are hidden, those treasures that need to be explored, so that not only uh, will bless you, but bless other people, just by you stepping out and doing something. So I'm enjoying it, although it was a little, I don't want to say scary. It's just the fact that I never knew what was there. And sometimes it takes other people to help you realize what's been inside you. And so now, I'm just excited to explore the rest and find the other parts and pieces that are being revealed as we're walking this out.
I love that, Michelle. It goes, you think of being divinely designed, and I'm not sure where it's at in Isaiah. I was reading it this morning. I was trying to find it just now, but where it talks about we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and how we have books that there are, like, from the foundation, that we were pulled up from the depth of the earth, and that there are things written it was predestined in our books who we are. So it's already written. He already saw it. He saw it and he created it. It's done already. And so I was just in agreement with the Lord. Look, I have no idea all that I am and all that you've put in me. And so, okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. And so reveal who I am. And I love, I was listening to last week's broadcast, and Pastor Lanzine, what you said about, well, what about the check boxes? The exploration and the excitement and the joy of letting the Lord do something and then write it in. That's the great mystery. That's the great discovery, is to see. And like Sochi, like you were saying, it's like, stop putting limits on ourselves, and don't put a limit on all that God has put in us, and let him reveal as we move forward, to let him reveal it. And that's the great discovery, and that's the great joy. And when I focus on that, it's like, wow, that is so exciting. It is so exciting, because from August of last year, it was just a thought. I mean, a vision was given to me in the middle of the night. I'm like, that what? That's who I am? I mean, I couldn't even speak it. I mean, it was there in my heart. It was in my mind. But to actually stand up and give a 3-minute explanation of the vision that the Lord gave me, I'm like, I don't even know how to put it to words. That's how new it was. I wasn't even comfortable talking about it because I'm like, I really don't understand it myself, but to allow him to roll this out and walk this journey out with you guys this year, and to actually have the business manifest, and now for it to be able to expand into different things, Michelle, like you were saying, has your focus changed, or are you sensing other things coming to play out? Yes. And so that's the great discovery. And so I don't know all that's coming in 2025. I know that I'll be doing a lot of writing about the things that I learned in 2024. There's so much, and things have moved so fast. I need to write these things down, and how did I overcome these things? And there's a lot inside my heart that I need to be writing. Again, is that going to be a book? Is it something I'm going to talk about and express to others? I don't have all the answers. We don't have to have all the answers right now. I'm just agreeing with what he said. It's written in my books, and that's the excitement, is to let him reveal. It's like the great revealing.
So, talking about, oh, go ahead, Geneva. No. Talking about August of last year, it's really exciting to hear everybody share about it. Earlier, I don't know, I think a few weeks ago, Pastor Lindsay and I were talking about doing something next year. And, and a piece of me is like, yeah, let's do this. Another piece of me is like, finish what you've got right now before you start anything new. So I'm sticking to that. But those are the types of things that really bring me so much joy. It just sparks the inside of me to such depths to be able to assist with things like this. Right. And the process for me since it's felt like, did I just go backwards? It's like, what happened? What happened this year for me that seemed like I almost went backwards? And I understand I didn't, but I could easily fall into that if I allow those evil thoughts to take over. I could just like, I'm never doing another thing again. I'll just forget the Proverbs 31 woman. Who was she? And who did I think I was writing the book? And da, 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 da. I mean, all these thoughts that try to creep up. And so like listening to all just brings so much fire into my heart that it's like, yeah, that's why we do the things we do. Even when we didn't know what was going to happen, we didn't know what was going to come out of it. All we did was, well, not all, but it's like the preparation to get us to there, right? And so I thank you all so much for sharing this, because I've been asking, I've been asking God. It's like, okay, so it's like, who am I right now? It's like, what? When people ask me, it's like, yeah, I'm a business consultant, but what? Like, it's too broad. I need to narrow it down. I think I need to be more specific. And one of the things that's been coming up is execution. Like, I love to execute on things. Don't ask me to keep it going after I'm done. That's not my job. That's not what I was cut out for. But the execution of things is one of the things that gets me excited. Is like seeing the vision, or getting the idea, or listening to someone's idea, and then it's like, oh, pop, 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 pop. It's like, then I start seeing the steps and start creating that plan, and then executing on that plan, and then figuring out what was wrong and fixing it. And that type of fire and excitement is what drives me. It's the stuff that just fuels me and allows me to keep going. And this year, it's just been such an interesting year that at times it's like, what happened? What did I miss? And I'm not going to dwell in that, but yeah, it's like, I want to learn. It's like, what did I not see? What happened? It's like, I still want answers. I still want answers to things that I had to go through this year, and it'd be nice to have them, but my eyes are on what I'm supposed to be doing right now, which is finishing off these projects, finishing off, closing and sealing certain doors and just being done with that. And then being able to breathe, being able to just be ready for what's next. I'm very excited about what's happening. And I'm gonna stop right there because we have a few minutes. I want to make sure Geneva gets to speak and express.
Everything everybody's had to say has been so good. This is it's still so exciting right now, even to anticipate what's going to happen over the next 6 weeks. And it's true because everybody's touched on it. August of 2023 was the catalyst for so many of us. It was the thing that enabled us to see beyond where we were and even what we tried to imagine. It opened up things for each and every one of us that participated, and even those who were not able to be there with us in person, but yet participated in the process. So it was huge. It is still huge. And, thinking about everything everybody's been saying, one of the things that since last Friday that I've been toying with in my imagination is the idea of furthering my education. I need a doctorate. I don't know what kind of doctorate I need yet, but I know I need it. Not because I want to be a doctor and practice medicine, but in order to be able to make those connections between patterns, because so many things that people suffer from are directly related to a side effect of something they started taking for something else, that now they're having to take 3 other things for it because it caused a ripple in their health. And so, I'm talking to God about, okay, well, what kind of degree do I need? What kind of doctorate do I need in order to be able to make these connections, to recognize these things, and that way be able to determine as I'm helping someone, not just what's my first step, because the first thing is going to be the thing that addresses the 10 other things that are going on. But knowing for certain what that first thing was, what that first thing is. In the questionnaire that I am creating for the people that I'm trying to assist right now, initially in this one thing that I'm not going to say exactly, but one of the things is, how long have you been doing it? What was your initial diagnosis for this? It's just, there's so much, and it's so exciting for me to imagine that this is even bigger than what I am imagining. The potential for it is, as y'all can tell, I'm just a little excited. So, but yeah, and I see that in each and every one of us, because there's so much that is being opened up to us right now, and so much that is being made clear. So it's going to be fun to see what happens over the course of the next 6 weeks.
You got that right, gingerbread. One of the things is I had this thought, Oral Roberts, I'm not quoting him accurately, but on the wall at ORU when my daughter was attending, and I read it, and it said, make no small plans here. And I don't like to hang around with small-minded people. I like to be around people that want to dream and dream bigger. And I love what you just said. We've only got like 30 seconds, but hey, I did all the commercials. The only other one I have is my program tomorrow, Kingdom of God Conversations with Lindsay and Lee, and I don't have a guest. It's me. So that's tune in 1:00 p.m. tomorrow Pacific Standard Time. So having said that, I love this, and I love being a sounding board for people when they want to do the in marketing. One of the phrases it was referred to as starbursting. I think about this and it leads to this and it leads to this and it leads to this. And really, we're just talking particles of possibilities, which is what I'm going to talk about tomorrow anyway. So let's do this. Absolutely. I love it. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Where are we going to go with this next week? We're not sure, but we know it's going to be amazing because we are I think we fire off of each other. I know we're over time, so let me hurry up, shut up. We fire off of each other. We learn from each other. We inspire each other. What a wonderful company of women to be blessed to be amongst. That's the kind of people that we roll with. And we've got friends, of course, that are not on the program, but thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Tell us about your groups, your teams, your friends. Post in the pages. Remember to go over to our Divinely Designed Facebook group. You can join, and we love to hear you contribute to the conversation. When we do the taping this weekend, what I'll tell you is next week is pre-recorded, but what's going to be fun is that it should be everybody. So you should also see Leslie and Crystal, who are missing tonight, and then the 5 of us, Geneva, Sochi, Michelle, Tasha, and myself, Lanzine. And we are always wanting to be in your life to remind you that you are not merely designed, as Tasha was saying, but God has his hand in this, baby girl, baby boy. So you are truly, absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, divinely designed. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station for kingdom inspiration.